No audio, Crump. And well, we're
All
in
right,
this.
you should hear me now.
Yes, we got
Sorry.
you.
Yes, I am still alive. I am in my office. I've just been really busy working on things that everyone will know about, but I decided that I have to make this stream, and it's about what's going on in Virginia. Virginia is my home state, if you don't know, which I'm sure a lot of you probably do know. And we are facing down an assault weapons ban or an assault firearms ban passed by our communist governor, Governor Spanberger.
What do you mean? She's a moderate.
And there is some good news. As of today, yesterday it was like 6, but now there are 7 Commonwealth attorneys that say that they are going to refuse to go ahead and enforce the assault weapons ban, assault firearms ban, which is a good thing. Right now, there are 56 localities, a bunch of sheriffs. I think like 6 sheriffs,
You may
56
have misspoke.
localities.
You said 7 Commonwealth attorneys. I think you meant to say sheriffs.
No, 7 Commonwealth attorneys, 6 sheriffs, and 56 localities that says, don't bring this shit around here.
You mean prosecutors?
Yes.
Okay.
So there are 7 that have sent letters out to the police departments saying, hey, don't bother arresting people and bringing charges because we will not prosecute. And basically, all of them have been saying the same thing, which is we took an oath to defend the Constitution and we intend to keep that oath.
Wow. Wow. So now this is I forget the legal term. That when you don't comply with an unconstitutional law.
Well, Madison versus Mulberry, it says laws that I'm going to paraphrase here, but basically laws that are repugnant of the Constitution are null and void.
But there's a terminology for it, and I'm it's eluding me at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, heck yeah. I mean, I remember probably going back 10 years, there was a sheriff, I think he's in your neighborhood. He said, I'll deputize everybody.
Yeah, that was Sheriff Jenkins at Sheriff Jenkins who got caught up with the whole machine gun thing. But
Ooh.
I have some quotes that I got from some of these Commonwealth attorneys, and I'm going to read a couple of them here just so you know what they are saying here. This is from Ryan McAfee. He is a Marine veteran, and he is the Commonwealth Attorney of Spotsylvania County. He sent a letter to Spotsylvania Sheriff Roger Harris, and this is the quote that I got from him. Our founders were careful to make sure when they drafted the founding document, that our ultimate right of the people was preserved, the right to defend themselves in their community. So the linchpin of the constitutional analysis is whether this instrument has reasonable relationships to the preservation or efficiency of a well-regulated militia. He says he is not going to apply. The Smith County Commonwealth Attorney Philip Blevins says, as Commonwealth Attorney, I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Virginia. That oath is not situational. It does not change based on politics, headlines, or pressure from either side of an issue. Pulaski Commonwealth Attorney Justin Griffin said, I am not going to take law-abiding citizens as of June 30th, 2026 and criminalize the same behavior on July 1st, 2026. solely on the basis of this new law. Justice has been and will continue to be sought against those who use guns in commissions of crimes outside of this new law. Powhatan Commonwealth attorney says, the provision mentioned above places both my office and yours in an untenable position. We honor our oath to preserve the Constitution or enforce statutes which are or we will not enforce statutes that are clearly unconstitutional. So he sent that to a sheriff. And now of today, we have another sheriff that is basically saying the same thing. Another sheriff, Commonwealth attorney, and that's Warren County attorney. He says, I am not going to defend this. I am not going to charge. So don't bring charges.
Wow. So the term, I'm sorry, I was looking for was non-compliance. And the heck yeah. So what force does the state, I'm guessing the governor and the state attorney general, have to make these sheriffs and attorneys comply?
They can't.
So there's no teeth. They could say, well, we're going to...
Commonwealth attorney they have jurisdiction and they have discretion.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, out of 95 counties, 56 says, yeah, we're not enforcing it. So the majority of the state has pushed back and said, nope.
I think that deserves a well-earned applause.
And there are several court cases that are going through.
I wonder who has one of those.
That would be me as one of them, the state one, with my partners over at GOA and RCDL. Crump versus Cox. Cox is the superintendent of police whose job is to enforce the law.
Wait, Crump, who are you going up against?
Cox.
Crump is going up against Cox. Okay.
So Cox versus Cox.
The famous case of Crump v. Cox. How many? Sorry.
I had to go there, man. If you guys,
if you're an OG, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I do have an article on AmmoLand about some of it, but the latest one came out, and there is going to be more coming out, and there are several that I'm not going to mention who they are because they're like, yeah, I'm not going to pass a statement. I'm going to use my discretion not to prosecute.
Okay, so the number is higher. They're just, and I'm look. All of us have signed our names on lawsuits that are on this panel right now.
Mm-hmm.
It pisses me off when people say, well, I agree with it, but I'm not going to raise my voice. I'm like, the heck no. Yeah. That's all about being American. You're I'm not going to say it. You're a bunch of bad words.
Or Brian Vidard. I'm not gonna say who these gun stores are, but there are several gun stores that plan on selling the banned items no matter what. I'm not going to say who they are because we don't want to tip the hand right now. And there is a chain of distributors that have agreed to continue to sell to them.
Yeah, I know there's multiple FFLs in Virginia that said they're going to continue doing business as usual, and I had heard that there were manufacturers that said, "Okay, if you guys are on board and you guys are on board, then
yeah, and it's more than one. It's a bunch.
So Dark,
full-on rebellion.
Lemonade stand or no lemonade stand?
Honestly, I'm considering starting a rally, organizing a rally to call for people, just as we go to Richmond on Lobby Day, uh, for everyone to show up on July 1st in full kit with uh, our equipment that they're banning, that we're not allowed to carry as of July 1. Um, and to stand out there with a megaphone and literally call for the arrest of Abigail Sperm Gurgler.
Yeah. I would not be there because if I get arrested, that would kind of destroy the case.
It would likely damage your suit. That's correct. But the
Yeah.
difficult thing is, like, it seems so like Fed posty to be like, let's all go here and do illegal stuff together. Like, it's not it the only way it can happen is if dudes straight up stand up and are willing to go there. And I mean, like, when we were in Richmond in January, there were 2,000 of us out there, and it was a light lobby day. If we could get 2,000 of us out there, there's absolutely no way at all they can grab us all. Yeah, maybe 10, maybe 20, maybe 50, maybe 100. But at what point, like, are you willing to compromise? And I'm not willing to compromise. And if I got to go out there with a throwaway PSA and a throwaway Glock and all my kit and maybe get arrested, it is what it is, dude.
Yeah. But there's a lot more news going to be coming out. Just can't say anything, but when that news does come out, Rich will go ahead and break it, or Dark will go ahead and break it.
I forget. Crump told me to forget to something, and I forgot it.
Yeah, it's probably really good that you did.
So Brandon says,
And I told you also not to bring it up at all.
I forgot what it was.
Well, don't even bring up that I told you anything. How about that? Like I said, don't bring it up that I told you anything.
Rich, don't bring it up that he told you anything. So Brandon said, and this is the point, right? Like, at what point are we willing to, not sacrifice things for freedom, liberty, and independence, right? Brandon says, but if you're a gun shop and you're going to risk, or like, are you going to risk your business?
There are several that are prepared to be arrested.
I know a lot of people that are well beyond just risking businesses and FFLs and licensure. They're the same people that have been encroaching on our natural rights for more than a century. It's just gone too far, bro. I may have a far out point of view, a little more extreme than others, but I believe the rights that were given by God, by our Creator, which are guaranteed by the Constitution, which happens to be the same Constitution that these dirtbags put their hand on the Bible and swear to God to defend and uphold, and then immediately release legislation that is in complete repugnant to the Constitution. I can't think of the term, but repugnant to the Constitution. It is our duty to disobey, and it's our duty to sacrifice whatever we need to, be it income, businesses, or blood. It's all right. Now I'm gonna get banned. I'm sorry. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. I'm just a big old dummy.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's. I mean, you got to take a stand. If I put my name on there, I will be deposed at some point. I am looking forward to that because last time I was deposed in something, it didn't go the way that the lawyer thought it was going to go.
So for those of you, I did show this comment. Abigail should be in the stack on every confiscation. If you don't know what that means the SWAT team that's kicking in the door to confiscate guns. The stack is the guys in uniform kicking in the door.
Yeah.
So hopefully she's first on the stack.
So there is no confiscation at this point. If they could have it their way, they would absolutely confiscate. Now, here's one thing to consider though. So what Virginia has done is they said, hey, you cannot transfer, sell, dispose of, get rid of any assault weapons,
Well,
whatever
you can
those
turn
are.
it into the police
Oh
Okay.
yeah, of course. That's one
or
option.
ship it out of state.
But you can't transfer it to anyone else in the state of Virginia. If if I want to give an AR and a Glock to my daughter, that would be unlawful, right? You can't transfer them, you can't manufacture them, you can't make them, you can't purchase anymore. Which that's why people aren't flipping out because they're like, "Oh, I got what I need," not thinking of
And that's
it's
what we call the gangplanker mentality. That's the wrong mentality because it's
it's
the
not about
people. It's not
yeah
about me. It's about the collective.
the collective. But check this out. So what I was saying is that there's no, confiscation yet, right? But do you know what happens if you're, caught breaking any of these new, draconian laws after July 1? You lose your firearm rights for like 12 to 24, even 36 months for even some of these misdemeanors. But what would they do at that point? Well, they would have to come confiscate your firearms, right?
Well,
So then she should be in the stack.
here's the thing, right? We've seen this played over and over again, where uh, Rhode Island, for example, all these other states where they have these, you're grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Then a year down the road,
Just
they just
register.
they remove the grandfather clause. Then first they go, oh, your grandfather did. Well, we
Yeah.
want to take a little bit step further. You get to register it. Then people
Yeah.
register it. Then, but a year later, like, you know what? We're going to remove that grandfather clause. And since
We're
you registered, we know where they are, so turn it in.
and literally they're saying we're just going to change one thing to possession being illegal. I mean, literally, that's what they were talking about in Rhode Island. And I've talked to dudes that live in Rhode Island. Marine gun builder lives in Rhode Island, and he's
Mm.
like, I don't know one singular person that is going. Dude, look at Canada. They got like 2.8% compliance.
Yeah,
Canada.
well, yeah, compliance doesn't really. We have to shall not comply. Actually, I own that website, shallnotcomply.com. There's nothing there, but I do own it.
I own
Nice.
TanneriteDog.com.
Here's the thing, though, right? So during the Vietnam War, Ho Chi Minh had a saying, "Death by 1,000 paper cuts," and that's exactly what these anti-gun politicians are trying to do.
Mhm.
They're not going to try to take everything all at once. They're going to take our rights little by little, like drip, drip, drip. Our rights go
Yep.
away.
Yep.
So, um, we have to take our rights back by the same way, but they're like, just a little bit. We just want a little bit more. We'll let you keep all these other rights. We're just going to take this little right here. Then a year later, we're just going to take this other little right here, but you can keep the other rights. And eventually, you have no more rights.
Yep. And it's not a joke, man. Look at all these other states that you can't even drive past a border with what we typically carry every single day. It's insane.
It's an imaginary lines that separate states that have different laws, which is effing ridiculous.
Which I have a big beef with. Look, my car registration, my driver's license is good in all 50 states. In fact, it's good in Canada and Mexico also.
Yeah.
My right
And
to
Iceland.
keep and bear arms. My right to keep and bear arms, which is guaranteed by the Second Amendment of the Constitution, should be the same no matter where I go. I was just in the Northeast, and I left all protection home except bad words and a definition knife, which might not have been legal in some states. No audio, Dark.
Sorry, I'm muted. It likely wasn't, depending on where. I don't want to get you in trouble, but in certain areas in the Northeast, a lot of traditional folding knives are not lawful to carry.
Yeah, it's so ambiguous, those little knife laws.
Yeah, Gideon, I get what you're saying. He says purchase bolt action uppers for ARs, no longer semi-automatic. No, no, that's. I mean, that is compliance, right? Like, and anytime that we, and I'm not trying to cut on you, Gideon. I'm just saying, I understand the idea. Now we say it's compliance. They say it's obfuscation, and them, these guys are always making, what do they call it? Like loopholes or
Loopholes.
whatever. Yeah, but the reality is that a lot of times it's compliance. But whenever has compliance like moved the ball down the field? Sorry, I'm not a sports guy. Like whenever his compliance worked, it doesn't. It's tyrannical. It's unlawful. It's immoral. It's wrong, and we know because not only are they sitting here trying to actively take our rights from us, but what they're also doing is they're changing legislation to reduce penalties for things like assault, for grape,
Rape.
yeah, attempted murder,
CSAM.
yeah, CSAM, attempted murder, trafficking children, possession and distribution of cheese pizza, and making it a misdemeanor of assault to speak out against Muslims. If you say something like, Muhammad, peace not be upon him, was a pedo
He
and demon
was.
possessed, then like that right there could get me arrested.
Hey,
And
look,
this is
9-year-olds in
legislation.
Medina were hot. Ugh,
Oh,
I can't believe I
dude,
said that.
that stung a little bit to hear. You know how old my daughter is?
Oh shoot!
She's literally 9 years old. But I'm saying like free speech is that's one thing. Sorry. Anyway, I'm getting back on this track. They say that this is for public safety, but at the same time, they are literally writing legislation to make the public less safe. None of this has anything to do with the safety of the public. They care 0% about the safety of the public. They care about control and they care about finances. If the same finances that came from these anti gun organizations came from pro nuclear power plant organizations, they'd be like, we need to get nuclear power all over. It just, they're just screaming whatever, garbage talking point that's paying them.
Yeah,
They don't care
and
about
when
guns.
you don't go with the talking points, you become a Massey.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I
pisses me off.
I hate the position that we're in. I hate it. I passionately hate it, and I'm so done with the government overreach and encroachment.
Oh, there's tons of government overreach and encroachment.
It's almost like that's all there is. We have had some wins, and I'll acknowledge the wins, and I'll accept it because I'm grateful
We've
for it.
actually had more wins than we've had losses
We
on the
have,
federal level.
yeah, I agree, and I still
Just
struggle.
we're in Virginia, so
Yeah,
I guess the amazing thing to me is that, like Virginia, Florida, which is quite often considered the gunshine state, we almost had Gillum by 0.4%. You're talking an election rounding error. And you guys went from a good governor to a nutjob governor. And it's amazing how quick the tides can change in a state.
yeah. We're only one generation away from tyranny.
As paraphrased the quote of Ron Reagan, that freedom is not passed down in the bloodline.
Exactly.
Which terrifies me. Point for, like, Ron DeSantis has been an excellent governor. I have beefs with Ron DeSantis. I'm not, all in on him. But holy cow, Gillum, what a bullet we dodged. But 0.4% in an election.
that's crazy.
Yeah, and you guys, I mean, Virginia, you're screwed. You're just screwed.
No, we're not screwed. They're trying to screw us.
I know a very smart, prominent lawyer that said, hey, I'm moving to the Gunshine State. I'm done with Virginia. See you later, Felicia.
That's not the saying. It's bye, Felicia. But I get what you're saying, and although I love that individual, I think fleeing is not the fight, because how many people left California, and what good did it do? How many times have we seen people be like, you know what, I'm leaving the tyrannical land of California and I'm moving to Virginia. 2 years later,
Hey, I'm a refugee from New York.
in the same place, and you can't install a trigger in your lower. Like there's always some things. This is going too far. It will not outlive the test of time, and there's just so many people that are fed up that people are ready to just say, you know what, screw it. What do we have to do?
You got to stand for something, or you fall for anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Facts.
People's Republican of Washington State. Ouch.
And how many people left Washington and went to, say, Colorado or
Ooh.
Oregon?
Ooh.
Or this is, I cannot even count the states where this has been happening. Dude.
Yeah, it's gonna follow you.
When the founding documents literally say, it is clear as day, shall not be infringed, and we allow it constantly. It crushes my soul that everyone's just like, yeah, but I'm comfortable. I can still live a life of consumerism and convenience and ease. I can still order my groceries on Amazon. I can still, sit in air conditioning. So as long as I have my, X, Y, and Z, I'm good. It's so much more than that, man. It is like, are our children going to be able to live in a world of freedom, liberty, independence? Are their children going to be able to? And so on and so on. And I'm not saying that, like, I would never go on a live stream and say we need an armed resistance, because that would be crazy. But you could imagine that some people are feeling like we're at that point.
I hear you.
All right, I think we're done here.
Yeah. Crump's on a Cisco router reprogramming it right now.
No.
I didn't mean to take it too far. I'm sorry, guys.
No. I'm just gotta get.
You left out the shoot them in their face part. I mean,
I did. And
remember, Maryland today banned Glocks, so.
Dude.
We'll talk about that tomorrow or something like that. I got a lot of catching up to do.
They probably have more switches in Maryland than they do Glocks.
Most likely. But yep, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch Dark at DLD After Dark, Rich at Flying Rich. And tonight at 9 p.m. Over at Ticks and Bangs will be the next episode of the podcast. So we'll see you then.
You giving away a watch?
Yes.
A watch? Ooh.
Today I'm wearing my Rolex Platinum Presidential Day-Date.
Today I'm wearing my super beautiful, gorgeous, high-end titanium unlocked Apple Watch Ultra 2 or S or whatever it is, the titanium one. I didn't have it on until now. How else can the government, track my heart rate?
And oxygen saturation.
And sleep schedule.
All right. So we'll talk about watches later on. And with that, we're out of here. Bye-bye, guys.